What's up, PTB Nation? Welcome to another episode of Parking the Bus, your Sunday night home for football talk here on the PTB Media Network. I'm your host tonight, as always, the Mr. Mike Agustino, and I'm back here in my lab tonight, in my studio tonight, putting out more content for y'all, putting out all the kind of stuff you guys like to talk about. We're talking European football tonight, okay? Tonight is the European night. We got leagues starting. 3 of the big ones kicked off this weekend. I'm talking, of course, about the Premier League, La Liga, and the Bundesliga. And the Ligue in France is into round 2. So, without any further avail, let's just get right into it. What do you guys say? Let's start in the Premier League. What a first weekend of action. And again, I don't remember this ever happening. But all 10 matches had a winner. That's right. All 10 matches had a winner. There were no draws on match day 1 and round 1 of the Premier League. Let's run down the fixture list, okay? We will start on Friday night with one I enjoyed. I enjoyed thoroughly. You may not say the same if you're a Gunners fan. Of course, at the Brentford Community Stadium, it's Brentford taking on Arsenal as the Bees return to top flight football for the first time in 74 years. That's right, 74 years. Now, how many of you have seen the videos online? They're out there, okay? They've been on Twitter. They've been just search for it. There was a fan in the ground that night who was at Brentford's last top flight match 74 years ago in the old Division 1. And he was crying his eyes out at the end as they beat Arsenal, right? Brentford have never played in the Premier League as we know it. They played in the old Division 1, but again, 74 years. This guy was at the last match, and now he's there at this one. What a moment. Something Brentford supporters will never forget. And let's run it down. Let's look at the lineups. Why don't we? Starting with the Bees. Okay, their goalkeeper, David Raya, and they are playing for the manager, Thomas Frank, the Danish manager, in a 3-5-2. The 3 in the back, Pontius Janssen is the captain, and the deep-lying center back, the right center back, Christoph Ajer, and the left center back was Ethan Pinnock. 5 in midfield, starting with the 2 wing backs who would come into play here. Down the right, it is Sergi Canos, and down the left, Rico Henry. In the center, the 3 in the center, Christian Norgard is the number 6 holding midfielder there, or the pivot there, with 2 box-to-box midfielders on each side of him, Vitaly Janelt and Frank Onyeka. Up front, Brian Mibumo partners with Ivan Toney. Moving now for the Gunners for what you have to believe is a very under-the-gun Mikhail Arteta right now. You heard Leo here on this podcast last week, a Man City supporter, say he's predicting Mikhail Arteta finishes the season as City's manager, which, I mean, hard to believe. But yeah, he's put Pep Guardiola's head on the chopping block, and we'll talk about Pep Guardiola when we get to Man City, won't we? But sticking here with this one, Mikhail Arteta under so much pressure right now to deliver for this team, as he's got the Gunners. He's had them now for some time. The talk that he needs time, the talk that it's not his team, that he hasn't had a chance, that's all going away now. Now it is all about results, and it does not start well. Okay, Bernard Leno is the goalkeeper for Mikhail Arteta. His 4 across the back, Callum Chambers, the right back, Ben White and Pablo Mari, the center back pairing, and the left back, of course, is Kieran Tierney. Double pivot in the middle of the midfield. Lokonga partners with Granit Xhaka. Xhaka, of course, is the captain for this side. In the attacking midfield, the center attacking midfield role, the cam, if you will, the center attacking midfielder is Emile Smith-Rowe. He's got Nicolas Pepe to his right and Gabriel Martinelli to his left, and they're playing behind the striker, Folarin Balogun. All right, so again, this is a match that wasn't even all that close. I mean, Arsenal were played off the pitch in this one. If you disagree, maybe you can make valid points as to why they were not played off the pitch. But this is just not about the goals. This is not just about the result. I think Brentford were fantastic in this one. They came out to play. Everyone's picking them to go right back down. Everyone says that they can't stay up, and we know that history is not kind to the EFL Championship playoff winner, the last team to get in. We know that history is not kind to them. This team does not care. They should have been up the season before. They slipped up a year ago. Now they're in their rightful place in the Premier League. And, imagine if they hadn't lost Ali Watkins. Imagine if they haven't lost some of the other players. This Brentford team, though, loses players, replaces them, and continues to perform. In the 22nd, it got started. It was Sergi Caños, the Spaniard. He gets on the right wing back. He puts in a man of the match performance in this one also. And he plays all 90 minutes, gets a goal off of 3 shots, and he scores the first one here. And it was a beautiful goal, no question about it. Assisted by Ethan Pinnock on a nice cross. Caños finds his way to the back post. He finds his way, putting it past the goalkeeper. 1-0 to Brentford very, very early on. And again, Arsenal just not inspired, just not clicking. Arsenal are not a big club anymore. We got to stop including them. They have proven they have fallen. First, they fell from the Champions League into the Europa League group, and now they've fallen out of Europe altogether. And to everyone who says this is a good thing that they're going to rebuild this year, well, it didn't start well at all for the Gunners here. 73rd, Norgard makes it 2-0. And the Bees take home all 3 points on the opening match of the season in the entire league, with the eyes of the entire league, if not the entire world. On this match Friday night, it was Brentford 2, Arsenal 0. Early Saturday, a team that I've been highly critical of, and maybe I'm going to have to stop. A manager I've been highly critical of, and maybe I got to slow my roll a little bit and wait and see on this. It's Manchester United hosting Leeds United at Old Trafford. The lineups really quickly in this one as well. We'll start with Marcelo Bielsa's Leeds United, who came in with big, big hopes this season. They came in with big expectations, trying to take that next step. Okay, last year they went from EFL champions to promoted side. They finished in the middle of the table. This year they want to make that jump into the European places. Well, it did not start well for Marcelo Bielsa and Leeds. Ilan Meslier is the goalkeeper in a 4-1-4-1. Luke Alling, the right back. Pascal Struijk and Liam Cooper, the center backs. Cooper is the captain. Stuart Dallas, the left back. Robin Koch is the holding midfielder. Rafinha, the wide right midfielder, with Rodrigo and Mateusz Klich playing behind the striker. Patrick Bamford and Jack Harrison playing down the left. For United, for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, a guy I've criticized to no end, and a guy that I still am not convinced. But hey, this was one heck of a start, and most United fans are much more convinced than I am now. And he rolls the dice here. 4-2-3-1 is his formation. And he sticks with his guy in goalkeeper. People were talking about goalkeeping, talking about who's going to be the starting goalkeeper, and almost nobody said this guy, but it is still David De Gea. He is the starting goalkeeper in this one. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is the right back. Victor Lindelof and Harry Maguire are the center backs, and Victor Lindelof playing for his job, as he knows, because Rafael Varane was unveiled during this match, unveiled on the pitch. He is signed from Real Madrid, and no doubt going to strengthen this Manchester United backline. And, of course, one of the better players of Euro 2020, Luke Shaw, is the left-sided midfielder. Scott McTominay partners with Fred in the center of midfield. They're the double pivot behind Daniel James, Paul Pogba, and none other than the man himself, Bruno Fernandes. That's right, Bruno Fernandes. We talk about him a lot. I have to address this off the start, okay, because I'm tired of reading this. If you are a Portugal fan and you are a Manchester United fan and you watch both teams and you don't know why Bruno Fernandes performs so much better for United than he does for Portugal, well, you need to go take, an entry-level coaching course. Because it is a completely different system of play. He is not a true midfielder at Manchester United because he's not a true midfielder. He is a cam. He is a center attacking midfielder, a number 10, even closer to being a supporting forward than he is a box-to-box midfielder. Portugal asks him to be the box-to-box midfielder because they play with two forwards already. Okay? They ask him to be a box-to-box midfielder. He's not as good at that. Thus, his performances in the national team do not correlate to his performances with his club team. He is in a much better fit for himself in his club team. Okay? You can criticize, the manager and the national team for that, but at the end of the day, the national team is not going to change the way they play to cater to Bruno Fernandes at this stage. Okay, they have other players. They have a lot of players. They're not going to cater to just one. And if they're catering to just one, let's just say it's not him. All right. Whereas Manchester United is clearly built around him and Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba, a fantastic match in this game. Let me tell you, what a performance from the French international, who I've also criticized so heavily in the past. And we got to see some of that Euro 2020 version of Paul Pogba in this one. Daniel James also very good, and they're playing behind the striker, Mason Greenwood. All right, where to begin? I mean, who else but Bruno? It is Bruno. This is his team, and this is where he flourishes, okay? Hat trick on the day for the Portugal international, the former Sporting Lisbon midfielder, former Sampdoria midfielder. Bruno Fernandes scores in the 30th, the 54th, and the 60th. Leeds pull one back in the 48th, and it was actually level there for a minute. Fernandes scores in the 30th. Eiling draws level in the 48th for Leeds. 54th, it's Fernandes again, making it 2-1 to the Red Devils. Greenwood scores in the 52nd. Actually, he scores before Fernandes just a second. So Greenwood makes it 2-1. Fernandes makes it 3-1. And then on the hour mark, Fernandes makes it 4-1. And what a start to the season for United. A United team I still have my doubts about. I'm very, very slow to come around to. A United team that a lot of people believe in. A United team that the City supporter Leo from BTV was here last week, predicted was going to win this league, and I lost my mind. I said, how? Well, guess what? After round one, they're leading the way. They're in the front pack, and by a good goal difference, they got a good start in this one. And Fred will score in the 68th to make it 5-1. Manchester United win, take all 3 points. Little else to say. They really shine in this one. Burnley 1, Brighton 2 later on Saturday. Then at Stamford Bridge, it is Chelsea 3, Crystal Palace 0. We get a goal from Alonso, another from Pulisic, and last from Chalobah in the 58th. 3-0 to the Blues. And it's a tough start for Crystal Palace and for Patrick Vieira in the Premier League, excuse me. As we know, Patrick Vieira is the manager for Crystal Palace now in his first season, replacing Roy Hodgson. And there's probably going to be a bit of a learning curve there. I'm gonna guess, because there's no way that a manager in his 70s like Roy Hodgson, and a young manager, in his 40s like Patrick Vieira, have too many similarities in the way they do things. I think it's going to take this Palace side some time to adjust to Patrick Vieira. However, Chelsea just continues to shine and continues to fly. Hot off winning the European Super Cup midweek on penalties. And Thomas Tuchel's side pick up all 3 points on match day 1. And they will look forward to the next one. Everton in the debut of Rafa Benitez as the manager of the blue side of Liverpool. All right, the former Reds manager now has switched sides at Merseyside. And he starts off with a banger 3-1 win over Southampton. And Everton get goals from Richarlison, who has to be absolutely depleted. I don't know how this guy is still standing. He played all of last season, played in Copa America, played in the Olympics, and had to have been during the week, and goes right into the team for Everton. I am very concerned, for him going forward. I see an injury, some kind of wear and tear injury coming to Richarlison and to a couple other players I'll mention as we go through. But at some point in the first quarter of the season this year, I think some point between now and maybe the November international window, it would not shock me if we get some type of pulled muscle or some type of just wear and tear injury to Richarlison. He has just been worked so hard. He scores for Everton. So does Doucouré and Calvert-Lewin. For Southampton, it is Adam Armstrong with the goal. He scores on an assist from Che Adams in the 22nd. But all 3 points go to the Toffees. Moving on, a match I watched, a match I was excited for because maybe my favorite manager in all of football is in this one. Leicester taking on Wolves at home and in at the King Power Stadium. And Wolves, of course, managed by the man I was just talking about, by Bruno Lage, who is a manager who I want to follow his entire career, literally from start to finish. He won me over in the time he spent at my club at Benfica in Portugal. Of course, I'll never forget that winning streak. Yes, things didn't end well there, but I think that had more to do with his players than it did with him. And I really believe that if given the time, I think he's going to put together a good body of work here at the Molineux for Wolverhampton Wanderers. But it's a tough place to start on the road at Leicester of all teams. Leicester going to be pushing top 4 all season. They are the FA Cup winners from last season. They were in the Champions League. They just miss out on the Champions League the last 2 seasons. Of course, they were champions not all that long ago, and a lot of the spine of that team is still here. Leicester's goalkeeper is Kasper Schmeichel. The 4 across the back, Ricardo Pereira is the right back, Daniel Armati and Kaglar Soyuncu in the center, with Luke Thomas as the left back. Double pivot in their midfield. Jordi Tielemans, the Belgian international, paired up with Wilfred Ndidi. And then Ioze Perez, James Maddison, and Harvey Barnes are the attacking midfielders, playing behind the striker, Jamie Vardy. And would it be another Vardy party for Leicester here at the King Pow? But for Bruno Lage, he brings out a 3-4-1-2, which is interesting. This is not the formation he played at Benfica, so I'm excited to see him, kind of evolve a bit here. He's got 3 across. Jose Sa, the former Porto and Olympiacos keeper, debuts for the club, replacing Rui Patricio, who went to Roma, of course, to play for Jose Mourinho. The 3 in the back, Max Kilman is the right center back. Connor Cody, the deep-lying center back, with Roman Saiz as the left back. Fernando Marçal is the left wing back, and Kijana Hoyer is the right wing back. Ruben Neves and João Moutinho, the Portuguese partnership in the double pivot in midfield, and then the attacking trio: Adama Traoré down the left, young Portuguese international Francisco Trincão down the right, playing behind the Mexico international, Mexican legend, really. I mean, maybe I'm throwing that word out a little bit, but easily the best Mexican forward right now, the best Mexico goal scorer right now, and they're just waiting to get him back. It is Raul Jimenez. Now, this game was very evenly played, in my opinion. I'm going to look at the stats here. Leicester got the better of the possession, but they got a lot less of the shots. So Leicester with 56.3 possession, but 9 shots from that possession, whereas Wolves 43.7% of the possession, 17 shots. 12 chances coming from those 17 shots. Leicester connecting more passes at a higher percentage. But in the end, it looks like Wolves the more vertical team. But Jamie Vardy makes it a Vardy party in the 41st. And Wolves had chances, but Wolves unable to find an equalizer. Unfortunately, they had one. They had pulled one, but it was called back for offside. Connor Cody, of course, getting on the end of a cross and finding the back of the net. But after a VAR review, it was ruled offside. And the linesman may have even had it right the first time. Not entirely remembering now. But it is Leicester taking 3 points, 1-0 over Wolves. Watford next at home to Aston Villa. Watford's another team everyone's picking to go down. Everyone's already putting their money down on Watford for the drop. But Watford start off with a win over a team everyone's high on. Everyone thinks is going to keep climbing up the table. Jack Grealish is gone, and Aston Villa have dropped their first 3 points of the season on the road at Watford. It's Watford 3, Villa 2. And finally, on Saturday, the EFL champions, or the EFL Championship champions, Norwich City. The Canaries get thumped at home by Liverpool 3-0 in their debut. Sunday, Newcastle 2, West Ham 4. They're blowing bubbles. The Hammers are celebrating, and they are looking to build on last season's performance as well. Last season's run to the Europa League. They're going to be very excited to get European football at the London Stadium this year. And the big result of the week, there's a player that's trying to move between these two teams who's stuck in limbo. We're talking about Harry Kane. He's still not a member of Manchester City. I'm starting to think the transfer window is going to come and go and close, and Harry Kane is not going to make this move. And he's alienated himself at Tottenham, and who knows what happens with Harry Kane now. Perhaps Nuno will try to interrogate him, but Harry Kane loses a lot of leverage here in this one because it is Tottenham 1, Manchester City 0, and maybe Leo's right. Maybe Leo is right about Manchester City and them not winning the league this year. It's still so hard to imagine, but right off the bat, they don't get it done here. They travel to Tottenham, and they are beaten by the Spurs here in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in front of 58,262. How sweet it is to have full stadiums once again in England. Full capacity. Anthony Taylor was the referee for this one. Let's look at the lineups, as there have been some changes in these two teams. We'll start with Pep Guardiola's visitors playing in their predictable 4-3-3. Ederson is the goalkeeper still. Maybe some questions to be asked about him on this goal. I don't know. João Cancelo is back. He's the right back. Ruben Dias and Nathan Ake are the center back pairing. As John Stone's not in the 11 today. And neither is Kyle Walker, interestingly enough. But the left back is Benjamin Mendy. In midfield, Fernandinho plays in the hole where he should have played in the Champions League final, let's be honest. Ilkay Gundogan to his right. Jack Grealish debuts with a start to the left. And up front, the attacking trio of Fernan Torres as the striker, Riyad Mahrez down the right, and Raheem Sterling down the left. Also seeing action in this match for City was Gabriel Jesus, Alexander Zinchenko, Kevin De Bruyne, and that's it. You only get 3 substitutes in England still. So those are the ones that Pep goes with. Now for Nuno Espirito Santo, the former Wolves manager, debuting in charge of Spurs here. 4-2-3-1 is his formation, and he knows how to organize a team, and he's got Tottenham organized. Okay, they may not be playing the prettiest football. They may not be wowing you. You won't hear the olays from the faithful, but they are organized, and they start off with a phenomenal result. And maybe if there's a time to face Manchester City, it's right here in the very first day of the season, or the very first round. Hugo Lloris is the goalkeeper. Tangana is the right back. Davinson Sanchez and Eric Dyer partner up as the center backs, with Sergio Reguilon as the left back. Double pivot for them in midfield as well. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, Danish international, who we talked about plenty this summer, playing for Denmark at Euro 2020. Partners with Oliver Skip. In front of them, Lucas Moura down the right. Dele Alli is the center attacking mid. And Steve Bergevin is the left-sided attacking mid. Behind the striker, Heung-min Son. And it is Son who gets the goal here. Son scores in the 55th minute. Is there some questions to ask of Ederson on this one? Perhaps. It looks like it took a deviation. It took a deflection. But at the end of the day, it is the Spurs coming away with the 3 points. Tottenham Hotspur win 1-0 at home, to the delight of their faithful, to the delight of their new manager. And how is Harry Kane feeling right now? Is he starting to doubt this? Many are saying that the fact that he's being represented by a family member, not by a real quote unquote real agent, is part of the problem here. And I'm starting to wonder if this window is going to come shut and Harry Kane is not going to get his move to Manchester City. We'll wait and see. Maybe they were just holding off until after the two sides had played each other so that Kane could not score on Tottenham. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Here's the table. As we said, 10 teams with 3 points, 10 winners out of the 10 games. No draws here on match day 1. United lead with a +4 goal difference. Then it's Chelsea and Liverpool with +3 goal differences. West Ham with +2, as well as Everton and Brentford. Then Watford, Brighton, Leicester, and Tottenham with a +1 goal difference. All right, that is the English Premier League for this week. Let's take a quick break here on the PTB Media Network. I am the Mr. Mike Agustino. If you're watching live right now, you see my handle on the screen. Go ahead and give me a follow over on Twitter. It's at Mike Agustino, at MikeAgostino. And also, if you haven't already, follow the show on at PTB_media, both on Instagram and on Twitter. Give me 30 seconds and I will be right back. And we're going to go to Germany next and talk about the Bundesliga. This is the Parking the Bus podcast, episode 70, here on the PTB Media Network. And welcome back to Parking the Buses, episode 70, PTB Media Network. Your host, the Mr. Mike Agustino, here again. Let's go to the Bundesliga now. It is round 1 of the Bundesliga. It started Friday night, August the 13th, with the champions looking for the decade of dominance, looking for their 10th straight this year. And Bayern Munich visit Mönchengladbach in this one as Julian Nagelsmann gets his debut he gets his debut in charge of Bayern Munich. Let's take a look at the lineups. We'll start with Nagelsmann's Bayern Munich. 4-2-3-1 he's playing. Of course, Manuel Neuer, the captain, in goal. 4 across the back. Josip Stanisic is the right back. Dayot Upamecano partners with Nicolas Soule in the center of defense, while Canadian international Alphonso Davies back in the starting lineup again this season at the start of this season. And he puts in a man-of-the-match performance in this one, at least according to FOTMob here, with an 8.4 rating. Davies is the left back in this one. Double pivot in front of them, Joshua Kimmich and Leon Goretzka partner behind Thomas Muller, Serge Gnabry, and Leroy Sané behind the all-world striker, who better be the Ballon d'Or winner this year. It may not happen due to the way the tournament's played out, but should have been the Ballon d'Or winner last year for 2020. Hopefully for 2021, they recognize him and they honor him with the award that is rightfully his. It's Robert Lewandowski for Mönchengladbach and their manager, Adolf Hutter. He has the Swiss international Jans Sommer in goal. 4-2-3-1 is his formation. Stefan Leiner is the right back. Matthias Ginter and Nico Elvedi are the center back pairing with Joseph Scali down the left. Their double pivot in midfield, Christoph Kramer and Florian Neuhaus. Behind Patrick Herrmann, Lars Stindl, and Hans Wolf. The striker is Alassane Plea. And it would be Plea in the 10th minute who would get this thing started and put Mönchengladbach ahead in front of the champions. Borussia Mönchengladbach take the lead 1-0, but in the 42nd minute, it was none other than Robert Lewandowski reopening the account. Last year, he broke all kinds of records, and right in the first match this year, he gets that account reopened. Here we go. 1-1. That's how it's going to finish, as a share of the spoils to each side to start the 2021-22 Bundesliga season. Moved to Saturday's matches: Arminia Bielefeld 0, Freiburg 0, Augsburg 0, Hoffenheim 4. That's right. Hoffenheim are announcing their arrival, announcing that they're up for this new season. Larson, Adaman, Reuter, and Rudy with the goals for Hoffenheim. 3 points and a +4 goal difference. You can't write it up any better than that to start a new season. Union Berlin 1. Bayer Leverkusen 1. VfB Stuttgart 5. Greuther Fürth 1. So the promoted side welcomed by Stuttgart, and if I'm not mistaken, also promoted. Stuttgart 5-1 winners. What a way to start for them as well. Wolfsburg 1, Bochum 0, and Borussia Dortmund 5, Eintracht Frankfurt 2. Goals in this one for Marco Reus in the 23rd. Pasalek levels, or a Pasalek own goal levels it for Eintracht in the 27th, and the 32nd. It's Thorgan Hazard on an assist from Erling Haaland that makes it 2-1 to Borussia Dortmund. And then 2 minutes later, Haaland opens his tally for the season. It's 3-1 to Dortmund. 70th minute, it is Haaland again, making it 4-1 to Dortmund. And in between those two goals from Haaland is one from American Gio Reyna, who now proudly wears the number 7 jersey for Borussia Dortmund. And just a player that continues to evolve and continues to grow. One of the guys I really like to watch, and I really can't wait to see what he develops into here. And I think he's got all the makings to be a superstar. Already a very accomplished player for an American, And of course, he has good DNA. Both of his parents were U.S. internationals, and he got to Europe at a young age, which is going to be a huge advantage for him. And Gio Reyna making a name for himself here. And in the 86th, Hausch makes it 5-2, pulls one back for Eintracht Frankfurt. So Haaland with 2 goals, Dortmund win 5-2. And then today's matches: Mainz 1-0 victory over the team the team that I'm predicting big things from. And perhaps I got to rethink my predictions. RB Leipzig travel to Mainz and lose 1-0. It's a loss on a debut for American manager Jesse Marsch in charge of Leipzig. Of course, also he's reconnected with American Tyler Adams in the team. But Mainz win 1-0 on this one. And then the last one of the round, it is Cologne winning at home 3-1 to Hertha Berlin. And the side from the capital starts on a damper once again. So now the table real quick. Goal difference, the only difference between the top 6 is there were 6 teams that won this weekend. Stuttgart lead on a +4 goal difference with 5 goals scored, one better than Hoffenheim, who also have a 4 goal difference but only scored 4. Dortmund with a +3, and then Cologne with a +2. Mainz and Wolfsburg behind them with +1. All right, moving on now to La Liga. Okay, it is week 1 of La Liga and the beginning of the post-Messi era in La Liga. The beginning of the post-Messi era for Football Club Barcelona. And they were on they were on national television here in the United States. Big ABC put them on. I'm sure when they scheduled that, they were planning to see Lionel Messi on the pitch, but we got to see the Barcelona without Messi. It is the start of an era for them. And again, I'm very quick to dismiss claims like we heard last week that they were going to miss the Champions League or something like that. I think that this team is still very good, and this Barcelona side is not going anywhere. Okay, so 10 matches in total in this league as well. 5 of them had winners, and we had looks like 3 draws. 3 draws, and then or it should be 5 draws and 5. 5 draws and 5 results with a winner. So let's look at the results here. It's the start. It's very early, but it starts with Valencia winning 1-0 over Getafe. Valencia's goal comes from Soler off from the penalty spot. Interestingly, it's important to note that Valencia played with 10 men, it looks like. Yes, Valencia, the Hugo Guillamon, originally shown a yellow card, but after a VAR review in the 3rd minute, upgraded to a red card. And Valencia, despite playing with 10 men, they beat Getafe 1-0. Saturday's matches: Cadiz 1, Levante 1, Mallorca 1, Real Betis 1. We expect big things from Real Betis this season. They really need to make a jump, and they really need to be pushing for those higher positions. Not the way they wanted to start on the beautiful island of Mallorca. And then the team that Leo picked to win the league title this year, Real Madrid, travel to Deportivo Alaves, and Real Madrid get a victory. Let's look at Real Madrid's lineup in this one. Or the lineup for both teams, why not? Starting with the Deportivo Alaves, Fernando Pacheco is the goalkeeper. Martin Aguirre Gaviria is the right back. Victor Laguardia and Florian Lejuene are the two in the center of defense, with Ruben Duarte as the left back. Thomas Pina and Pere Ponce, the double pivot in midfield. Luis Rioja, Manu Garcia, and Edgar Mendez, the 3 attacking midfielders behind Jose Lu as the striker. And I do apologize, those of you watching. It looks like the internet signal's once again bad, and I'm really losing my patience with this cable company who says they're not thwarting my speeds. Maybe it's just horrible internet to begin with. I'm not sure. Maybe they're not doing anything intentionally. Maybe their product just sucks. I don't know. I'll be moving out of here shortly in the next couple months, and I won't have to worry about it again. Anyway, for Real Madrid, 4-3-3 is their formation for Carlo Ancelotti on his return. Thibaut Courtois is the goalkeeper, of course. Lucas Vazquez, Eder Militão, Nacho Fernandez, and David Alaba, the 4 across the back. Alaba, of course, coming over from Bayern Munich in the summer. In midfield, Casemiro in his normal role, anchoring that midfield. Luka Modric to his left. Federico Valverde to his right. Karim Benzema gets the start at striker, and he gets the captain's armband as well. Gareth Bale to his right. That's right, Gareth Bale in the starting 11 for Real Madrid, and Eden Hazard on the other side. And Benzema with 2 in this one. He scores in the 48th and 62nd. Nacho Fernandez picks up 1 in the 56th, and Vinicius Jr. gets a goal here in the 90th plus 2. Deportivo Alaves' goal comes from Jose Lu in the 65th from the penalty spot. 4-1 to Los Blancos in the last match on Saturday. Osasuna 0, Espanyol 0. Celta Vigo start the day today hosting Atletico Madrid in Galicia. And it is the champions getting their season started just right on the back of a double from Angel Correa. The Argentine scores twice. Atletico Madrid go into Galicia and they win 2-1 over Celta Vigo. Celta Vigo get their goal from Aspas from the penalty spot in the 59th minute, while Correa's 23rd and 64th minute goals was all that Atletico needed, that Atleti needed to pick up 3 points in a very, very Simeone way by a goal. But it is 3 points, the first of many Atleti are hoping for. The Colchoneros looking to defend their title and to repeat this season. If ever there was a chance for them to repeat, it is this season. In all honesty, Atleti should have been dominating this league the last 3 seasons, because their 2 rivals have been severely weakened in the past 3 seasons, and now they're both at the lowest I think I've ever seen them in the modern era since they became these global brands, and since they became these 2 rich football clubs. Okay, part of that trinity of football clubs of the big 3 in terms of wealth, in terms of global appeal. I'm talking, of course, about Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Manchester United, always regarded as the number 1, 2, and 3 in those off the pitch tables, if you will, those off the pitch reasons. And Atleti get 3 points and take care of business on the road. Barcelona at the Camp Nou against Real Sociedad. And everyone that thought they were just going to start losing now that Messi's gone, well, shame on you, because you should know better. They're still Barcelona. Maybe they're not going to, they didn't win the league last year. Maybe they're not a solid bet to pick to win the league. Maybe they're not going to win the Champions League. But slow down on predicting this demise where they fall out of Europe. Martin Braithwaite is the man of the match in this one. Let's look at the lineup for Barcelona. Who do they go with in the post-Messi era? Neto is in goal. 4 across the back. American Serginho Dest gets the start again. Eric Garcia and Gerard Piqué are the center defensive tandem, with Jordi Alba on the left. In midfield, Sergio Busquets is the anchor, and he's playing with Frankie de Jong and the incredible Pedri to his left. Pedri just finished his season 1 week ago. This guy has absolutely no offseason. He played in the Olympic gold medal match. That was his 73rd match of 2020-2021. That's where he ended his season. A week later, he's on the pitch again, and he plays all 90. I'm concerned for Pedri's safety. I'm concerned that this young player is going to pick up some kind of injury that's going to nag him for a long time. The overuse, I know he's young, and the old school people say when I was 18, I could have played a game a day. Yeah, that's all fine and dandy. You can continue to romanticize the nostalgic era. I love nostalgic eras of football, but let's be real for a second. This is a human, okay? 73 matches in 8.5 months. 9 months, okay? A little bit much. And Ronald Koeman has no choice but to plug him right back in. Yes, he's only 18, but Pedri gets the start here, and then their attackers, Antoine Griezmann down the right, Memphis Depay in the center, and Martin Braithwaite. Remember what Leo said about Martin Braithwaite last week when he was on here with me? Yeah, at DGens_United, of course, if you want to hit him up and remind him. Martin Braithwaite with the double today for Barcelona. He scores in the 45th +2 and the 59th. Gerard Piqué got the scoring underway in the 19th as he got on a cross from a set piece delivered by none other than Memphis Depay, who was only registered like yesterday or Friday. Gerard Piqué had to take a pay cut in order to make room in the wage bill, because there is a salary cap in Spain. It's been the talk of the summer. It's the reason Lionel Messi is no longer at Barcelona. It's the reason Lionel Messi, now an employee of the Qatari government, now has a player for PSG. It is that salary cap, or those salary restrictions. So Gerard Piqué takes a pay cut, makes room for Memphis Depay, of course. Kun Agüero yet to be registered. He's under contract, but he's yet to be registered again due to no room right now on the wage bill for him. Again, Martin Braithwaite with a man of the match performance. Sergi Roberto would score in the 90th +1. And for Real Sociedad, Lobete in the 82nd, and then Oyarzabal in the 85th. He's got to be a tired guy as well. Oyarzabal played in Euro 2020 and in Tokyo 2020 in the Olympic Games. 3 points for the Blaugrana. And then at the Sanchez Pizjuan, Sevilla 3, Rayo Vallecano 0. A very good start for the Andalusian side. They're going to want, if there's ever a season where they really compete for the title, it's this year. And I think Sevilla have to be laser focused on La Liga this year. They can't get caught up in anything else. Copa del Rey, Champions League, they're going to be there, but they need to stay laser focused, in my opinion, on La Liga. I think they have a chance to win it this year. Tomorrow, there are 2 matches in La Liga to close out round 1. Villarreal will host Granada, and Elche will host Athletic Bilbao. All right, 1 segment remaining on this episode of Parking the Bus. I'm going to take a quick break here. It won't be long, I promise. 30 seconds or so. And hopefully this internet signal improves. When we come back, we're going to just quickly run down Ligue 1 for match day 2 or round 2 in Ligue 1. And spoiler alert, PSG already out in front. Some of the teams we thought would challenge them, not off to such a good start. All right, this is Parking the Bus. We'll be right back. And welcome back to this final segment of episode 70, Parking the Bus. Fortunately, the internet signal's not gotten any better. I hope you can still see me. I hope you can hear me. If not, check it out on the podcast. The podcast will drop shortly after recording ends. All right, Ligue 1. Let's go to France and see how it starts. It started on Friday with Lorient 1, Monaco 0. A big win for Lorient, and Monaco, once again, not starting the season well. Monaco always seems to have rosters that lead you to believe they should be better. Okay, remember, they were, up until last year, the only team to break the dominance of PSG. We think back, we remember to that Monaco team that featured Kylian Mbappe, Bernardo Silva, and Fabinho, as well as Falcao, that won the Ligue 1 a few seasons back now, 3 or 4 seasons back. Since then, they have struggled to refine that form, to rebuild that team. Lots of talent, loads of talent in Monaco. Now they're managed by, if I'm not mistaken, double checking on this, but they're managed by Niko Kovac, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Niko Kovac is still the manager at Monaco. He will be very disappointed with this start as they travel to Lorient and they lose 1-0. Saturday's matches. Here's another shocker. The champions, Lille, absolutely slaughtered at home by Nice. Nice go into Lille and win 4-0. It makes you wonder what's going on at Lille. Are players all looking to make a jump to a bigger club? Are they not focused on this season? Here's Lille's starting 11. Leo in goal. Zeki Selik is the right back. Joseph Fontaine, Sven Botman, the center backs. Reinildo is the left back, while Jonathan Icone, Benjamin Andre, Youssef Yazici, and Jonathan Bamba make up the midfield. Timothy Weah, the American, gets the start alongside Burak Yilmaz in the striker position. Jonathan David, the Canadian attacker, would come off the bench in the 46th as he would replace Jonathan Icone, and that would change the formation in the system to a 4-3-3. Nice would come out for their manager, Christophe Galtier, on the road with Walter Benitez in goal, Youssef Attal, Jean-Claire Todibo, if I'm not mistaken, that is the former Vitória Guimarães midfielder, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that was a different Todibo. Oh, no, this is the Todibo. Okay. My fault. I should know better. This is the Todibo that was on loan to Benfica in the first half of last season. That was sparingly used. Should have been used more. He is starting alongside Dante across the back line for Nice, and Melvin Bards is the left back. The 4 in midfield. Hicham Badoui is the right back. Is the right midfielder, Mario Lamina and Pablo Rosario in the center, and Justin Kluivert, the son of the Dutch footballing superstar of yesteryear, the star of my childhood, Patrick Kluivert. His son Justin gets the start for Nice in this one down the left. Armini Goridi and Kasper Dolberg are the starting strikers. Dolberg with the double in this one in the first and 64th. Badoui would add one in the 5th. So within 5 minutes, Lille were down 2-0. 45th plus 4. Goidi would add a penalty. 4-0 to Nice. Shocking result. Lille not starting this season well after picking up the victory in the French Super Cup over PSG. They now are struggling after 2 rounds. And the other results Saturday, PSG 4-2 winners over Strasbourg at the Parc des Princes. And let's bring up some of the match facts for that one. In front of 46,962 at the Parc des Princes. Lionel Messi was unveiled before the match or during the match, somewhere in there. And let's look at their lineup quickly. PSG goes with Keylor Navas again, and not Donnarumma in goal. Hakimi, Thilo Kehrer, Presnel Kempembe, and Abdou Diallo are the four in the back for this one. Ander Herrera anchors the midfield with Mbibi, and Wijnaldum to each side. In the attack, it is Mauro Icardi getting the start at the striker role with Kylian Mbappe to one side and Julian Draxler to the other. A little bit of shifting here by Mauricio Pochettino, and it will pay off. Icardi scores in the third, Mbappe in the 25th, Draxler in the 27th, and then substitute Sarabia in the 86th. 4-2. Strasbourg's goals come from Gamero and Ajorque in the 53rd and 64th, respectively. And the Parisian side has two victories from two matches, a perfect 6 points. And now another shock result, another team we're high on here in the Park and the Bus Media Network, here in the PTV Media Network. We're high on Lyon, at least to finish in a top 6 spot, but they get blasted 3-0 on the road at Angers. And Angers pick up 3 big points with a statement-making 3-0 victory. Goals from Bofal, an own goal from Marcelo, and Unahi in the 77th. And that is the shock result on this Sunday. However, there's more results to run down. Brest 1, Rennes 1, Clermont Foot 2, Troyes 0, Nantes 2, Metz 0, Reims 3, Montpellier 3, Lens 2, Saint-Etienne 2. And then the team we're hopeful of, the team I'm hopeful of, the manager I like in this league, Jorge Sampaoli, and the team I'm hoping to challenge PSG. They had a huge comeback last week. As you remember, I embarrassed myself for having considered it done when they were down 2-0. In this one, the reverse happens. Marseille are up 2-0 in this one. Let's look at their lineup here. And Marseille come out with Steve Mandanda in goal. 3-2-4-1 for Sampaoli. William Saliba is the right center back. Leonardo Balerdi would be the deep lying center back, who would be sent off. You would see 2 yellow cards in this one. And Luan Perez as the left center back. The double pivot in midfield, Papa Gueye and Abubakar Kamara playing behind the 4-man midfield of Under, Matteo Guendouzi, Gerson, and the American Conrad de la Fuente, who played another 90 minutes today for Marseille. The Barcelona B product is asserting himself in this team. Seems to be winning over the manager. At least he seems to be earning these minutes in this position. And they're playing behind the striker, of course, the image of this team, the name behind the team, Dimitri Payet. Payet would have a goal, so would Under. It would be 2-0 in this one after 41, but come out for the second half. And Bordeaux come out flying. Here's Bordeaux's 11 for their manager, Vladimir Petkovic. Benoit Costil is the goalkeeper. They also play with 3-5-2. They play with 3 at the back as well. Micher, Laurent Koscielny, and Ricardo Mangas are the 3. The wingbacks are Enoch Quatang and Gideon Mensah, with the 3 central midfield triangle of Otavio, Toma Basic, and Yusuf Sissoko. And they're playing behind Samuel Kalou and Yu Joy Huang. And again, you would get here a major substitution here at the 45th minute that changes this match completely and turns it around, as Petkovic sends on Timothy Pembele. And within minutes, Pembele scores one, draws it not level, but cuts the lead in half, I should say, in the 51st. Pembele makes it 2-1. And 6 minutes later, Odin makes it 2-2. That's how it would finish. Bordeaux steal a point from the Velodrome, and Marseille drop 2 points already and start to already lose pace with PSG. Let's look at the table then after 2 rounds. Right now it's Angers, top of the table on goal difference. So 3 teams have 6 points. Angers has a +5 goal difference. Clermont, the promoted side, also in the top 3. They've got 2 victories from 2 matches, and their return, if you will, to Ligue 1. 4 goals scored, none allowed. They've had 2 clean sheets, as has Angers in these first 2 matches. Clermont have a +4. They're second. They're ahead of PSG because PSG, though scoring 6, has allowed 3. So they got a +3 goal difference. Then You have 4 teams with 4 points. Nice are 4th. They have a +4 goal difference. Nantes, 5th with a +2. Marseille with a +1. And Lorient with a +1. Next is a group of teams with 2 points. 2 draws for these teams. Saint-Etienne, Lens, Reims, Rennes, and Brest, all with 2 points. And that leaves Montpellier, Monaco, Metz, Bordeaux, Lyon, and Lille with 1 point. Lille right now in 18th place due to their -4 goal difference. Heavy goal difference in the wrong direction for the champions. They're 18th. They're in a relegation playoff spot right now. Of course, the league is 38 rounds and not 2, so not quite, they're not the Titanic just yet. Let's slow down a little bit, but not the start of the season that the champions wanted. In 19th, it's Troyes with a -3 goal difference, no points. Strasbourg brings up the rear in 20th with -4, no points. Okay, before we say goodbye, all right, just a little bit of an announcement. Episode 71 drops Monday, tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Okay, that's 5 Pacific. And that makes it 1 a.m. London time if you're watching from London, or that will drop on the normal places, Periscope, YouTube, and on my Facebook on Monday, 8 o'clock Eastern. That episode's already recorded. It's already programmed. It's going to just come on. Okay, it is a review of this past week's Copa Libertadores, Copa Sudamericana, and CONCACAF Champions League action, plus with some results mixed in from the preliminary rounds of the UEFA Champions League, the Europa League, and the Europa Conference League. A lot of results run in there in an episode that is under 1 hour, because I learned the hard way on Mr. Benfica that if you're going to do a pre-recorded episode on this technology on using StreamYard as I do, it has to be under an hour in order to work as a pre-recorded episode. So I learned that the hard way. So I really hustled to get that episode done within 1 hour. We're at minute 58 here on this one, and we're about to say goodbye as well. So that's coming to you Monday. Tuesday, I got another episode as well. Okay, we'll look at Ligue MX, Major League Soccer, Brasileirão, and the Argentine League on Tuesday. That's going to do it for this episode of Parking the Bus. I'm the Mr. Mike Agustinu. Thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight. If you're still here, thank you for dealing with the poor internet quality. I can see, again, the signal is low. Once again, I'm really getting fed up with this. I'm not going to lie. And I'm hopeful that I'll be out of this place soon with better internet. So keep your fingers crossed for me. But for everyone here at the PTB Media Network, everyone that helps me put this together, the statisticians, the results watchers, the handicappers that give me a lot of information. Shout out to everybody over at BTV at Better Than Vegas that helps me with that. And that's going to do it. So I'll see you tomorrow for episode 71. This has been the Parking the Bus podcast, episode 70 here on the PTB Media Network. I am the Mr. Mike Agustinu signing off, and I'll see you tomorrow.